Oh my God, Ciara, thank you very much, Minister. It's great to see you in the House again today, and again on a positive issue. I suppose it's very timely that this bill is brought on International Women's Week. Many parents have been contacting us about the increased leave, so it's great to be able to give that timeline to them. And I just have to go back over to Senator Mullin's comments there, that a family is founded in reality, a man and a woman, but I suppose that's founded in reality of prejudice, because a family is a family, who whatever way that child is brought into the world, loved and taken care of, and to me that is a family. And we leave that prejudice behind and create a new norm of family, and that is founded in reality. So, I want to welcome this bill. And as I said, it amends the adoptive leave to enable couples, regardless of sex, who have jointly adopted, for one of them to avail of the adoptive leave. It also amends the Parents' Leave and Benefit Act 2019 to increase the duration, and the amendment of the Child and Family Agency Act to increase the number of the board members of TUSLA. It is a really positive move. This bill is to create a fairer, more gender-balanced society, and those of us who are lucky enough to have a child by whatever way it comes to a family, by physically yourself or through adoption, we need to know that the state recognises that every single parent deserves to take time off to spend time with the new baby, supporting each other and getting to know that little person that they are now responsible for. It is a really wonderful time, and I know as a mammy whose partner was not able to take time off after the birth of our children, I know it would have made things an awful lot easier for us if we had to have that opportunity. But it also can be a very difficult time for many reasons, for health reasons or whatever the case may be, and the support of parents can give each other in that time is very important as well. Family leave policies, I suppose, are intended to bolster and support gender equality, and they're integral to supporting child, maternal, paternal health and well-being, and indeed birth rates and female participation in the labour market. And the goal of us all here, I believe, is to create a society where child rearing is a gender-neutral activity, and it is really a part of increasing the women's participation in the labour market and reduce the gender pay gaps. And bills like this and the non-transferability of the entitlement moves to create that equity. And equity is not automatically, it needs policy intervention, and such as this bill. And by creating equity with this bill and other legislation like the Gender Pay Gap Information Bill 2019 will create that equity that we need to have that gender-neutral child rearing idea. By recognising these differences, societal differences, we can create a new normal, and we can reduce that gender inequality by reducing the unconscious bias that indeed women should not have to care for women in the home. And I absolutely agree with Senator Riley's call for an amendment to Article 41.2. I don't believe it should be deleted. I think the amendment to recognise the care that men and women give to our country, our society, is really, really important, and it will herald a new attitude towards care. I mentioned to you on Monday, Minister, that I really do think we need to look at the economic value of care and what it means in monetary terms to our country, because it has a huge economic value that is unaccounted for. And I go back to that inequality of unconscious bias, and that prejudice does remain to be fixed, and we must tackle that. And for example, I mentioned on Monday also, when I was running for my elections in 2019, and I can't remember the amount of times I was asked of who was going to look after my children, and to me it's an absolute bizarre attitude. I like to have a father, and I used to end up just saying, oh, they're grand, they're free range, they'll roam the Cooley Mountains, they're grand. But thankfully they are very, very well taken care of. And I suppose to date, research in Ireland has shown that all forms of parental leave except maternity leave has been mixed. From the research, challenges of taking parental leave, including paternity leave, relate in main to the following: the low compensation levels, and that is a difficulty. You know, the gap between and the availability, the ability for a father or a mother, or the main bread earner, to take that parental leave is very important. Is a stumbling block. The lack of flexibility on the time and the cultural norms, as I mentioned. And this extension of 2 weeks to 5 weeks is really, really important. And I'm really, really glad that you extended it for the first 2 years, because that is it just makes it more flexible and more available to parents. The government, as I said, is very committed to ensuring that every child gets the best possible start in life, and supporting parents to spend more time with their children is a huge part, and this 5 weeks will help mothers and fathers take that time and the precious time with their child in the first couple of years. But I do think we need a stronger state childcare system. What part of our children's lives do we put out to private? You know, we don't do our education, we don't do our third level, unless that's the parents' choice to put their child through private. And I do think that has been the issue from the beginning of the state. Because of our constitution, it says our women places in the home, they are home caring. Why would we have ever created a childcare system to allow women to go out to work? And I welcome today another commitment by the government and yourself, Minister, to the early years. And it's very, very clear that you have that commitment. And the announcement today on the establishment of a joint Labour committee for the early learning and care and the school-age childcare sector is another step along the way. Our childcare workers, usually women, and they do deserve the best quality and the best career progression. And there is always a distance to travel, as you said in your comments earlier on, but it does mark a proper and a really important milestone towards an improved pay and the conditions for the workers in that sector. This bill, it does respond to a specific commitment in the programme for government, and it's very, very welcome. And it is, I suppose, a lot done, more to do, as was said on a few occasions. It is a very, very progressive step forward, and I really do look forward to this growing, to make sure that parents are looked after, supported and encouraged to do whatever they want, whether that be in the home or be at work. So I really thank you, Minister, and thank you for your time on this.